cast and film around. The main reason why we are here is, as we all know, in film industry, we have departments before the film itself come out, which includes the pre-production, the principal photography, the post-production, and then the exhibition or the distribution, for that matter. And as audience, all we get to see is the distribution or the exhibition aspect of a film. So as Ahuofe Media or as the production, we decided to let the people know, or the audience or the viewers know, what we are about to embark on, and then again enlighten them on what we are doing during principal photography and then during post-production, and then when it comes to exhibition, they will know the chain in which we pass through to give them this piece of art. So basically, that's the main reason why we are here. Thank you.
Thank you. That even on short notice, you are able to honor our invitation. And our apologies for the late start. First of all, I'd like to start by telling us all about Ahuofe Media, what we do, and how far we have come as a company. Established in 2011 in Kumasi, the Ashanti region, Ahuofe Media rolled out as a movie production company. Over the years, in the last 4 years or so, Ahuofe Media has quickly grown to become an advertising, film and television production company with clients over different sectors of the economy. We are a creative team with an eye for detail, a heart for service, and a knack for solving problems. Because we at Ahuofe Media believe that great work is something conceived, nurtured, produced, and evaluated together, we house all of our disciplines in a team of young professionals under one roof. We don't wait for our clients to tell us what they need. We work together as a team to determine what they need. Call it integration, cooperation, teamwork, but we simply call it an everyday practice of doing what we know to do best. Aside our many advertising clients, notable amongst our portfolio, creative portfolio include the Boys Kasa skit, Kalybos and Ahuofe Patri, which indeed has been adjudged by Google Ghana to be Africa's third most successful YouTube content in 2014. The skit for us started as fun, but then over the years, indeed, we all do bear witness that it has become a household name, out of which two great brands have been created, Kalybos and Ahuofe Patri, who are here with us this evening. Today, the two are signed on as brand ambassadors for multinational company Airtel Ghana, which we think it's a good move for us. Then again, our biggest movie, which happened to be our first movie as well as a team, Kalybos in China, is among the names I can mention in terms of our creative portfolio. Kalybos in China did very well as a movie in the opening night at the Silverbird Cinemas. It did come as one of the biggest movies here in the country in the last year. Indeed, I dare say that it is the only movie in the last year that has screened in more cities across Ghana and the world at large here in Ghana. Kalybos in China movie premiered in about 11 cities in Ghana in 9 regions. I can make mention of Accra here at the Silverbird Cinemas, 2 premieres in Kumasi, KNUST campus, and then Green Tunnel in Kumasi. Premieres in Takrade, Pistia, Takwa, Bogoso, Sunyai, Amahinkru, Koforidua, just to mention a few. And in all these cities and regions, the reception and attendance to the premiere was marvelous and interesting. We did not end there. In cities like Hong Kong, Shanghai, Beijing, in China, our premieres were all down there. And then recently, for those who do follow us, we had huge premieres in Europe as well, on an European tour. Over there, we were able to do about 7 cities in 4 different countries in a pace of within 3 weeks. And in all, it will amaze you to know that the people, Ghanaian people overseas, really want to watch our films. But then again, very few producers have the courage to take it to them like we did. And so I think you should clap for us for doing that. Many have asked why Kalybos in China is not out on CDs or DVDs. I think that by standard practice and international practice worldwide, it is not too good for a producer to make a film and in 2-3 months the film is on DVD or CD. It is one way the industry, it is one thing that is causing the industry to collapse slowly. Ideally, a film should be on screens for at least a year before it is put on DVDs. Because really, indeed, now the distribution system and the marketing system here in Ghana is not so favorable to financiers or producers of films. And so if you make a film and in 2 months, it is, the worst is that sometimes even in 3 months, it is on TV and everybody gets to see the movie. And so you get to find that somebody tell you, oh, TV summary. And so people would hardly even go to patronize the DVDs. Now with what we've started and with the strategy that we are working on, it's working really well because Kalybos in China is not online, it is not on TV, it is nowhere until we get to a screen near you where you can get to watch. And in due time, it will be released online and then on DVD. I'm sure by then we would have made all the money that we wish. That's what my production manager always tells me. We must make all the money before we give it out there. Hopefully by April this year, the film will be online. And then people who have not been able to watch can be able to get their bits of the romantic comedy Kalybos in China. And so, by way of information, that is what Kufas Media is, and that is how far we have come so far. Today, we have gathered here for an almost similar reason. Last year, April, was the premiere of Kalybos in China. This year, we're hoping to do the same date, so it becomes exactly a year after. But unfortunately, God decided to put the Easter this year in March. And so we also decided to follow suit and do our premiere in March. We have gathered here to speak about our next movie project. A press conference before a movie project usually is not a normal practice in our part of the world. But then again, we think that if we are hoping and wanting to be on standards per Hollywood, then indeed steps and strategies like this become very essential. And that's why we have gathered here. Our next movie project is titled Amakye Dede. I'm sure immediately you hear the title, either smile, giggle, or be forced to imagine what storyline it would come with. You are free to do that. Amakye Dede is a romantic comedy. I'd want to go through the synopsis of the story or what it would be about briefly. It is a story of two very good friends, childhood friends. They grew up together, they did everything together, schooled together, worked together, they ate together, lived together. And at a point in time in their lives, they realized that they had also fallen for the same girl together. And as cool as they are, with different traits and characters, it becomes necessary that one of them must let go. I'm sure already you are putting the cast together in your head. Again, you are free to do that. And so, understanding does not come. One will not allow the other half the lady, and the other won't allow his fellow to have the lady. And so, they make rules. They come together and say that, okay, since you are not willing to let her go, everybody play your game. Everybody play your card. Whoever the lady falls in love with, we throw our support behind each other. And so rules were set. In twists and turns, things don't go as expected. And so everybody tried to use their own mischievous ways to get the heart and attention of the lady. And then again, at the end, the lady can only fall and marry one man. Who that would be, we can only know when the movie hits the screens. And for now, this is what the story is about. And so, scripts are ready. We are hoping to start production of the third movie on the 7th of February, which is just next weekend. By Friday next week, production, principal photography for the movie will start. By principal photography, I mean location and shooting of the entire film itself will happen. We are hoping to be on set for about 12 days, within which the film will be completed. And then post-production will start last for some 4 weeks. The film is scheduled to premiere at the Silverbird Cinemas on the 26th of March, which is a day after Good Friday. That's the Easter Saturday. And it will be premiering at the Westos Mall and then the Accra Mall. It will be a simultaneous show. And I also wish to thank the Silverbird Cinemas for their support in our last movie and even this one. I can see that the business manager for Silverbird, Akana, is here. If you give us a wave, we can clap for you, Akana. And so do take note of the premiere date. I also want to quickly introduce some of the lead cast. At least I'll start with those who are here present. Far left, Majid Michel will be playing the role of Dede in the movie Amakye Dede. Apostle Papa John Prah, aka Ojasius, is also playing the role of a pastor in the movie. And then Almighty Boss with 1S, Kalybos, is playing Amakye in the movie Amakye Dede. So now you know where the title comes from, Amakye and Dede. For those of you who think Majid is just a lover boy, you might want to see Amakye and Dede to see the other side of Majid Michel. If I tell you that Majid is better a comedian than Kalybos and any other, please don't be quick to rubbish me, because indeed he is. And then my far right is the pretty Ahuofe Patri. She's playing the bad girl who's causing the two friends to have issues. We have other characters in the movie who, some of whom are on their way, others were not able to make it here. We have Emelia, who is also a supporting cast in the film. There is Kwesi Chedakwa KK, also in the film, and then Kwesi Simti Misa KSN, who is also in the film. And then there is Grace Naughty of Old Times, who is also in the film. In writing the script and developing the concept, we as a production company also did take notice on the fact that it is important that we bring back some of our old cast who are slowly fading off our screens. It's not too good a thing. And so in this production, we are bringing back names like Mark Jordan Amate, Grace Naughty, as I already mentioned, and Fred Amogi back to our screens. We are also bringing a name that we have seen and heard for a very long time, Inspector Media, into this movie. Then again, we are also using this film to also bring out new faces and new talents, because we think that as an industry, it is good to raise new people, so that in some time to come, when the old ones start charging us too much and start not picking our calls, when they get there, we fall in the new ones. So for that reason, we are introducing new characters like Gloria Boache, like Emmanuela Sewa Dampa, and then there's another face that will hit our screens. Is a Nigerian, Benga. That name, I think Benga should be fine. He's here if you give us a name. So these are a few of the lead and supporting cast that we'll find in the movie Amakye and Dede. For now, this is all the information that we are able to provide on the movie, unless there are any questions when we get to the Q&A. But for now, this is it. Amakye Dede will start shooting of Amakye Dede will start next week on the 7th of February, and then by the 26th of March, on the Saturday at the Silverbird Cinemas, the premiere will be done. Thank you very much.
Amakye Dede should produce a soundtrack for the movie. Who does get the suggestion?
It could be in the movie.
Yeah, it's possible. Anyway, once again, let's give him a round of applause. At this point, we'll take a message from all their characters. Just short.
Good evening. something. So I am very excited about our upcoming movie. Kalybos in China was a huge success. Boys Casa is a huge success, and I can't wait for this one. Thank you all so much.
To you. So I'm waiting for your questions, and I think it will be of interest to yourselves. I know what you have to say. Thank you.
I'm part of Kalybos Media, and I want to say thank you to the CEO of Yasama for this opportunity. Well, it's Kalybos alright, and it's Majid. People looking out for comedy, and I am a pastor, and I'm going to seek to infuse gospel into the comedy. What I'm coming out there to do, to make people use comedy to come to Jesus. And if I'm not able to nail that down, I'm not needed here. So I'm trusting God that He'll be able to use me in that way. Somebody out there will laugh. At the end of it, he will look into Jesus. That is my motive. And I'm grateful for the platform, and I believe, this blend should be on. Like coming from Kumasi, I don't know where I can come from. Yes, it came one out. But now we are going to do it. Somebody out there to also recognize that everywhere in this country you can find yourself. You can make it when you decide to do it. So it's going to be comedy, but in it, because the Bible says that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So I'm going to use that to bring my Christian life into focus. And I believe at the end, my Majid did solve for Jesus.
Thank you.
Grateful for this gathering, and yet again to let you guys know there's more coming. And in fact, the sitting arrangement and the synopsis the director gave, you can already tell who is winning. So Majid, please, if you have any agenda, forget it. Anyway, the movie is promised to be more fun, and as he said it all, Kalybos in China was our first project, and to me personally, it was a learning experience for me to act with other stars. And my dream, which is about to come true, is to act with the almighty Majid Michel. Our color tone is similar, but I'll get there. So expect more from us, and don't let our fans down. Thank you very much.
Kalybos in China, and let me say that all the films are produced and financed solely by Ahuofe Media. Both Kalybos in China and Amakye Dede, which is yet to be shot. They are both produced and financed solely, and I use the word solely to suggest that it is not a funded production as at yet. But then again, for Kalybos in China, for an example, during the premiere, we did have a lot of sponsors who sponsored the premiere of Kalybos in China. So the movie was already made, so the sponsorship was for the premiere. I don't know if you get what I mean. For Kalybos in China, the budget for Kalybos in China, production till the film hits the cinemas was about $45,000. That's how much we spent to make Kalybos in China. That included trips to China to film. We filmed, Kalybos in China was actually shot in Accra, Dubai, and China. So it was 3 different continents, 3 different countries, one film. That's how much we spent. And then we made a profit of about 38% of what we put in.
So it was good business.
So it was a super good business. So that's for Kalybos in China. For Amakye Dede, we are hoping, we have an estimated budget of $26,000. And 15 in cities. I think dollar makes more sense. And even at that, we are hoping this production be a very low budget one. We are hoping to cut down even on the budget. So the estimated 26K, we are hoping that by the time the film hits the screens, we will not have spent as much. But we are expecting to make pretty much more than that. So that's pretty much it. Some of the cities were slow. Some of the cities we had like 40 people, just 40 people, but we still showed the film. some of the places we are like 300, so usually it's up there, up, down, but we've never run this.
Only you, if there is, how can you make us laugh? Because comedy.
That's not funny, right?
At all.
Yeah. Well, I'm an actor.
Okay.
And I believe acting is an art. And art is universal in terms of if you walk in here and you saw a painting on the wall and a German man walks in and says, wow, that's a beautiful painting. And then the Chinese man walks in and says, wow, that's an incredible painting. The guy from America walks in and says, this is wonderful. And it was done by Ghanaian. But then it cuts across universal. Doesn't mean because it was drawn by Ghanaian artists, so only Ghanaians have to connect to it. You understand? Art is universal. I was there as an actor. I'm not a Ghanaian actor. I'm an actor from Ghana. Okay, so this director says, you're an actor. I want you for a film. I said, okay, what's it about? He said, this is it. So every actor has this challenge in front of him every time that what is next to challenge me was there to say this will be a big challenge, and he wants to take it on to prove to himself that I have conquered the next challenge. So well, you have to only usually stick to what you're strong at. Unless you're daring to go otherwise, and then if you fail, you come back to say, okay, it's not for me. So being in a movie with Kalybos will be a challenge. And I can only see my success after the film. So if it fails, I'll stay off it. And now, let's see what happens.